Major news this week in the DFL race for U.S. Senate. Representative Angie Craig says she now regrets her vote in favor of the Laken Riley Act last year. The act is named after Laken Riley, a murdered Georgia nursing student. The law requires undocumented persons accused of certain crimes to be held without bail, even if they have not been convicted. Representative Craig's position has drawn criticism from other leading DFL U.S. Senate candidate Peggy Flanagan. We did invite Representative Angie Craig on our show, and we expect to have her on in the very near future. I did speak with the Lieutenant Governor earlier this morning. And joining me now is the Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I want to ask you about a change in your main opponent's position on immigration and the Laken Riley Act. She said she regrets her vote for it. She was one of 46 Democrats who voted for the Laken Riley Act. You've been critical of that vote, and also people on your behalf have been critical of the change, saying that she regrets it. Why is that important?
Well, I'd say it's important, first of all, to talk about what the Laken Riley Act actually does. It allows, for due process to be thrown out the window for immigrants. It allows for indefinite detention of adults and children. And it was the first bill out of the second Trump administration that I think really gave the green light to all of the chaos and violence that we experienced here in Minnesota. Senator Amy Klobuchar, Senator Smith, Congresswomen Omar, McCollum, and Morrison, they all voted against it. And my opponent was the only one who voted for it. And I just, I appreciate that she regrets the vote. But I also think we are in a time where we deserve leaders who vote their values all of the time. And I think that's what Minnesotans can expect me to do.
The Craig campaign has pointed out that you, when you were head of the Lieutenant Governors Association, accepted a $25,000, not you personally, but the association accepted a $25,000 donation from an ICE contractor. What's that about? So
I'm glad that you asked that question because the truth of the matter is I didn't solicit that contribution, and I told DLGA, the Democratic Lieutenant Governors Association, to give that money back. I am the only candidate in this race who isn't taking a dime of corporate PAC money. And the reason why is I want to be beholden to Minnesotans, not to big corporations who, frankly, I think have plenty of representation in Washington. It is the rest of us who need it. Congresswoman Craig has not made that decision. And, I think that's one of the biggest differences between the two of us.
I want to ask you about fraud. This has all come up while you and Governor Walz have been in power, running the state of Minnesota. Should you be held responsible for the fraud that's happened on your watch and Governor Walz's watch? Well,
I want to be absolutely clear that any kind of fraud is completely unacceptable. I know that Minnesotans are, we'll just say, excuse my French, pissed off about it, and I am too. If you commit fraud in Minnesota, you'll get caught, you'll be held accountable, and you'll be prosecuted. 98 people so far have been charged. 62 people have been convicted. The governor has used the tools in his toolbox and now has also proposed additional legislation to strengthen and make sure that there are long-lasting solutions. There's an opportunity now, too, for the legislature to come together and to move things in this upcoming legislative session, and I think that matters.
Could you have done more? You personally have done some more to help stop it.
I mean, as this was coming to light, of course, I expressed real concern. And do I wish that more would have been done sooner? Absolutely. But now I think is this opportunity for us to move forward and to do so here. I think hope springs eternal, and that as we are in this legislative session, there is an opportunity for Democrats and Republicans to come together. I don't think folks are that far apart from each other on these solutions. And I think we can be an example here in Minnesota where people can work together in a bipartisan way to stop fraud, to prevent it from happening in the first place, and to take action here. And I think that Minnesotans expect it.
Just quickly, because we're out of time here, do want to ask you about the big vote in the Senate and the House this past week on whether or not the president should have war powers. If you had been in the Senate, how would you have voted on that?
I mean, I think this is an illegal war that Donald Trump has started. It is costly. We have already lost American soldiers, including a Minnesotan. I would have voted against allowing him to take us to war.
All right. Well, Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, thank you so much. We really appreciate your coming in.
Thanks, Esme.
Among the candidates competing for the Republican U.S. Senate nomination, David Hann, Michelle Tafoya, Adam Schwarzy, Tom Weiler, and Royce White.